Any of the following types of workplace injury can seriously and permanently compromise your ability to work and live normally. There are different types of injuries. Let's see. First one is over trauma. This type results from coming in contact with energy source. Example: cuts, bruises, fractures, burns, and yeah, I do this from our book. Energy source. It could be any source, like chemical source, electricity, something like that. Overexertion. These are caused by excessive physical effort or repetitive motions or awkward working positions. Example: back pain, sprains, etc. Falls. Falls are common among construction workers, miners, like the one which has to work the worker who has to work at certain height. They are in no they could fall, right? So yeah, it can be from defective ladders or scaffoldings. It can be deadly too. Oh yeah, it can be deadly if even if the fall is by sleeping on the floor. It could be deadly. That's a fall as well. Fall can be considered as an over trauma injury. you know it can be considered as an over trauma injury, but I consider it as a whole different type because this type of injury takes place much often and it is a serious injury. Crush. This usually occurs on construction sites or place that uses heavy machinery. It may result in amputation of your body part. Body reactions. This results from performing activities such as climbing, bending, standing, sitting. It happens to almost everyone, be it a regular worker or a school professor. So that's the type of injuries. Let's see what's next. Oh, yay! Quiz time. Let's see. What do we have first? Oh, skinny guy. Okay, nice. Let's discuss what type of injury is this. So this guy seems like he has a back pain. He looks so skinny. He is an employee, I guess, because he's wearing a tie. So what kind of injury is this? Correct. It could be overexertion and it could be because of bodily reaction as well. So I guess it has two types: bodily reactions and overexertion. It has back pain, and it could be back pain due to standing, sitting. All right, let's see. Oh, this girl. This is an overexertion type as well. Since I think she's an employee, she works 8 hours just typing, and her fingers are like, dude, let me go now. It's repeated motions on keyboard, right? It's because of repeated motion. Let's see now. Whoa, wow. So this guy here, I named him Bob, and it's obvious that he's falling also, right? He's falling from a ladder. It is obvious. So this is obviously a fall type. Now Jack. Oops, see his hand. He's so much into his phone that he's not aware that his fingers are getting crushed under the machine. Whoa. Next. Oh, we all know him. He's our childhood character, Donald Duck, and he's getting crushed under the machine. Or else I know what's that, cream or what? It could be crush type. Let's talk about preventing. How do we prevent it? First of all, let's keep aside the workplace injury for a bit. Let's talk in general. If someone has been in an accident, what steps should we take, or what should be done to prevent that accident? Right? What should be done? That's right. First of all, assess the situation. Define the situation. We'll try to understand what happened, right? First of all, don't panic. I'll say don't panic. First of all, try to understand the problem. Examine the problem. Then we should try to take advice from our elderly or seniors. if it's some kind of road accident, then similar to that. So first of all, we have to know our rights. If it's necessary, then take help from a friend or some experienced person. That was all about the general. Let's get back to our topic, workplace injury. What measures or preventions should we take in a workplace injury? First of all, the most important part in a job is training. Train your employees well enough so that they take proper steps towards safety. They feel safe working in the workplace. They know the safety precautions, steps to take before working anything. Second is inspection. Now, this part is where you have to be punctual, right? You have to be punctual. Inspecting at every regular intervals could seriously save lives. It could save lives. For example, we all know Bob from the previous slide, right? The Bob, he fell from ladder. I'm sorry. I feel sorry about him. It is possible that the ladder broke because the bolts came out maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the incident and no one paid attention, right? There was no inspection and Bob fell. Boom, there goes his leg. So yeah, inspection is important. After that, if you have the problem, if you know the problem, I mean, if the problem is detected, then you have to report it, right? The incident, the accident, it should be reported. So that's all about preventing the accident. But unfortunately, it does not matter how much you try to prevent, an accident could still happen. But they are unpredictable, right? It could still happen, but at this time, employers should take care of the injured quickly. Prevention is better than cure, right? So yeah. And there is a quote from McKinsey that I took from an article. It says that when all the procedures within a task run in a harmony with each other, then workplace injury is prevented. Let's see hazard. That's our third topic, I guess. Hazard. Hazard is a potential source of harm or adverse health effect on a person. It is something, some source, it comes from a source. It differs from a risk, right? Risk is the likelihood that a person may be harmed. For example, if there is a spill of water in a room, then this water might be a hazard, right? It is a source, right? It is a slipping hazard. If access to that area is prevented by a physical barrier, then the hazard remains, but the risk would be minimized. The hazard would completely go away because of this, preventing barrier. You can completely remove hazard by cleaning the water, cleaning the floor. Let's talk about types of hazard. First of all, chemical. And due to high industrialization, humans are exposed to dangerous chemicals in their work or living place. It occurs as a gas, vapors, liquid, or even as a solid body. Secondly, there's biological. It could be from micro or macroorganism, and this type of hazard, it's a living thing, right? Microorganism, it's a living thing. It could be, examples are bacteria, virus, fungi, etc. Then comes a mechanical hazard. Workers come directly or indirectly with a variety of work-related objects like tools, machines, half-finished products. Psychosocial hazards, stress and strain. Next, quiz time again. Let's see. This is a food store. No, I don't work in such a food store. I work in a clean environment. But let's see here. What could be hazard here? First of all, there's an oil on the floor. Where's the cursor? Come on. Yeah, there's the oil on the floor, which could prove hazardous for workers. Then there is this knife. It could be considered as a mechanical hazard. And one more thing, that's not too hazardous, but still it is an hazardous chemical hazard, right? Grocery store. Oh, this knife this employee is holding, it could be hazardous for his fingers if he is not trained properly. And this guy who is lifting the sack, I mean, in the future he could suffer from a back pain. He could, right? We can't say anything. Oh, this is my favorite one. This little guy, yeah, he sees his boss as a devil. I mean, everyone does, right? Because the boss shouts every time and it's a pain in the back. So yes, this is psychological stress. Sorry, my bad. Psychosocial hazard, right? It's a stress, one type of stress. Then comes a mechanical hazard. Yeah, so that pretty much concludes, not concludes, we still have questions, but concludes my presentation. Hazards, preventions, and everything else. Oh, you want to see how the hazards can be removed? Let's say in this picture, right? So you can pretty much hang this knife somewhere like a magnet. We have this magnet in our store. There, I mean, magnet on the wall, not on the wall, that's pretty much hazardous as well. So on the floor where the knife would be hanged through the magnet, right? So you can do that. And then this oil, you can remove it, you can move that oil, you can clean it up. Yeah, you cannot keep this because this customer, he sees this chemical, right? And he feels a bit not good. If he feels like, yeah, it's not good. I think that's it. Let's go to the questions. List of 5 questions. Let's see. Can a workplace injury be non-injury accidents in a workplace incidents? Dangerous events include disasters with many fatalities, collective accidents, light accidents, as well as events that do not lead to an unfortunate end. That's a non-injury accident, right? Yeah, so it's an injury where there is no personal, it's an incident where there is no personal injury which arises in the course of work. It do not cause loss of personal materials, but yeah, it could be a near miss accidents. Second one, do we need a lawyer if someone got injured in a workplace? If someone got injured, then it is advisable to seek legal assistance. A lawyer can help protect your rights and promote your interest in the event that you are injured on job. Lawyer is, I mean, he is legal, right? He knows everything. He knows your rights. He knows, we'll go with, he knows your rights. We'll go in this third question. What's your right as an employer? What rights do we have as an employee if we are injured in a workplace? Talking about the rights, I mean, there's a term called workers' compensation. It's an insurance that provide injured workers with appropriate compensation without the need for legal action, right? The employees are paid even if they can't work. If they are injured, if they can't work, they are paid. That's workers' compensation. Once the data are collected, the next task is to analyze the information to identify the cause of incident, right? How do you do that? How do you analyze the cause and what theories are used? So to analyze the cause, there are various theories. I took it from our textbook. There are 3 theories actually, but I listed 2. First one is domino. So domino is the theory that every incident results from a series of events. You have seen the dominoes, right? So the incident, I mean the event that actually the tile falls because of the previous tile, right? So that's a domino, right? And it is easy to illustrate. Then comes the Swiss cheese model. This is an updated model of domino theory. That's, so domino is just one series. Swiss cheese, it's like series of dominoes, right? Okay. And there's one more normal theory. I have not listed here, but yeah, this theory believes that no single event can cause an incident. I mean, not a single event. There could be multiple events. In other words, incidents are expected outcomes of complexities, intra-complexities. Fifth question. After you have received an injury, until when can we file the case? Imagine you received an injury, and if you are not consulting a lawyer, then it's up to you to file your case, right? You have to file your case in the court to get your compensation. And that does not mean that you have the unlimited time. There is a specific course of time in which you can file, and this time interval is called statutes of limitation, which means that it's it's a time period from getting injured, the day you have got injured, till the last day you can file the case. It could differ from as short as 30 days to as long as 6 years. These are the sources. As I have already mentioned, I've used Handbook of Occupational Safety and Health. This book describes different ways to tackle towards secured workplaces, accurately examining hazards and describing types of hazards and ways to prevent them. It also discusses ergonomic factors. It's pretty good, handy handbook. It is a handy handbook. Then I have this gned textbook, Occupational Health and Safety. This book teaches the fundamentals of occupational health and safety. It also teaches us to recognize and control hazards. Then I have this article. I don't have it here, but the article, it was published in 2018. It's called Type of Workplace Injury by Land and Welch. Actually, this Land and Welch are attorneys. They are the lawyers. I mean, this describes types of injury. They have published many articles, but this is the one that describes types of workplace injury, and they are the attorneys that helps in claiming us. I mean, their clients. We are their clients, right? Or their helps in claiming compensations. That's the reference. So for Danuta Koradeka Mackenzie, that's the one I took from internet. That's the article, and that's the textbook. So that's it. Thank you.